got an absolute stud to talk about. I'm super excited about him. Most of the Debbie community is super excited about him. This guy was just going up draft boards and Debbie drafts this offseason. People are going crazy about him. To be quite honest with you, he might be the number one receiver in his class. There's some competition, but he might be the guy by the end of it all. And this is Marvin Harrison Jr. And yes, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the son of the Marvin Harrison that you know. So there you go. That's really all I need to say, right, Mike? It's the second coming of Marvin Harrison. You can't go wrong with that, right?
I mean, I liked Marvin Harrison.
I think most of us did, especially if we playing fantasy football and had him on our team.
Peyton Manning loved Marvin Harrison.
A lot of good going here. But Marvin Harrison Jr. goes to Ohio State, wide receiver U. Man, things are just lining up here for this guy, okay? When you think of a wide receiver coming out of Ohio State, you look at the list of like the past 5-6 guys that come out, they're all the same player. They're all 5'11", like 170, 180 pounds. They're really good technical route runners, and that's kind of their bread and butter, right?
But physical for their size, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, these guys, they're still pretty physical.
Not like super physical, but enough that they can hold their own, right? Like kind of like a Devonta Smith.
Here's one thing, and I hate to just kind of burst into your segment here. Everyone's like, 5'11", but it's like...
That's average.
Odell Beckham was 5'11".
Yeah.
Everybody loved Odell Beckham, and look at what he could do. He had some great high pointing, some great leaping ability. So Ohio State knows how to they know how to recruit wide receivers, although I will say Penn State has been doing some pretty excellent wide receiver recruiting.
They have been.
Well,
yeah.
But I'm sorry.
Yeah, all these Ohio wide receivers are the same. Even all the guys that recruit, they're all 5'11", 6 foot, 180 pounds, and good route runners. It's great. Works out well. We've seen it work out very well for draft capital. Marvin Harrison Jr., he ain't one of those guys. This guy is 6'4", 205 pounds.
That's what I'm talking about. He's more Michael Pittman than
we love that.
Yeah.
And Marvin Harrison, I mean, this is a guy that physical freak. He moves really fast. Every year, there's a freak list that The Athletic puts out. Yeah, Bruce Feldman puts out a freak list of college football, like the top 50 most freakiest players in college football. Well, Marvin Harrison Jr. this year was the number 2 guy at 6'4", 205 pounds, benches 380 pounds, 22 reps of 225, which let me tell you, that would have been like top of the combine for wide receivers. He's been clocked at 23 miles an hour with GPS on the field. I mean, he's probably going to run like a 4.3, at worst a 4.4 at his size. Marvin Harrison is a size speed freak. He is productive. And in the Rose Bowl last year to finish off the season against Utah, albeit they were playing with some backups out there in the secondary, 3 touchdowns. This is a guy that CJ Stroud is really starting to lock on, and he's producing. So far through 2 games of the 2022 season, 12 catches, 240 yards, and 3 touchdowns. With the speed and physicality, he's not going to have any problem continuing to produce those kind of numbers in the Big Ten. Marvin Harrison Jr., right now, his number 1 competition for wide receiver 1 in the 2024 class is Xavier Worthy out of Texas, who is kind of like a Marquise Brown, smaller guy who can just do it all. Xavier Worthy is 6'1", so I take that back, but he's 160 pounds, so he's kind of small in that realm. 2 kind of different players, but Marvin Harrison, we all love those alpha-sized wide receivers. We love those big X wide receivers who can really take over the game, and Marvin Harrison could really turn into that. Marvin Harrison Jr., watch out, 2024 draft. He's going to be our first round pick. He might be the first wide receiver selected. Whoever gets him is going to be very, very happy. And right now, Jackson Smith-Njigba is out with injury, so it's just more time to shine for Marvin Harrison Jr.
Fun thing, Marvin Harrison Sr., 6'185" in his playing career. Marvin Harrison Jr., 6'4", 205. So he's a bigger version. Oddly enough, right now through 2 games, Marvin Harrison Jr. is averaging 20 yards per catch. In Marvin Harrison Sr.'s senior season, he averaged 20.2 yards per reception. Playing at Syracuse, which was Donovan McNabb's first year at Syracuse, oddly enough, they were teammates for 1 year in 1995. He had 56 catches for 1,131 yards, 20.2 yards per reception, and 8 touchdowns. But here's the thing, and I'm not saying it's a straight up comp because I think Marvin Harrison Jr.'s game is different than seniors. But the fact is, People, when they talk about quarterbacks, they love saying things like coach's kid. He was running routes with one of the greatest wide receivers to ever play the game in his backyard as a child. So this has been ingrained in his mind his whole life. I'm all in. I hate Ohio State, but I love me some Marvin Harrison Jr.
You got to, man. And 24/7, when he was still in high school, they were comparing him to Kenny Galladay. It doesn't sound fun right now, but this is when they were comparing him to Kenny Galladay. They're comparing him to Kenny Galladay like in 2019, 2020. That's more exciting.
Well, that is it for this video. I do hope you all enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did. Comment down below your thoughts on the video itself. If you want to support this team and go deeper with us and get access to bonus content, written content, rankings, and our Discord community group chat, be sure to check out patreon.com/Dynasty Rewind. It's a great way to support the brand and let us know that you want us to keep cranking out awesome content. And you get access to all of us 24/7. Lastly, if you enjoyed this video today, I'm sure you'll love this one too. Be sure to go check it out. But hey, that is it for me today. I'll see y'all in the next one. But until then, y'all have a good one.